Hey everyone, welcome. My name is JR Spear, and I'm with the Business Leaders Network, the founder and owner, where I love to help entrepreneurs start, grow, and scale their businesses. But one thing that I love more importantly is to really serve and help other entrepreneurs with the growth of their business. And we do that through servant leadership and by giving them opportunities to shine, share what they have going on, so that we can collaborate and help each other grow. And so today, I have some very special guests that I brought onto this call, where you guys are going to get an opportunity to see what they do, hear more about how they're serving the audience, and how we can really help each other grow. And if you guys find something from one of these individuals that are on this call that you want to connect with and you resonate with, please reach out to them, comment below this video, or reach out to me and I'll get you guys connected. But we're going to take this time to really highlight some very amazing individuals who are doing some really cool things out in the world today with entrepreneurs and other people, and just give them a time to be able to share some of their expertise and how they're making an impact in the world. So welcome everyone. Thank you, you guys, for jumping on here. Excited to have you on here. And so we're just going to go around the room and I'm going to just call you out. I'm going to ask you very specific questions and then we'll give everyone a time to shine. So let's start with Aubrey. So Aubrey, why don't you tell us a little bit more about who you are, where you're from, and what do you do to make an impact in the world?
Ooh, fun. Well, thank you, JR. So
Yeah.
I'm Aubrey Kimball with Life of Design Network. I am a results coach and speaker. I'm also a trainer for businesses as well. I believe you could design any life that you choose. You just have to be willing to put the work in for it. I serve high achievers and business owners that have reached a level of success and then they're stuck. They know they're capable of more. They know they're the problem. And if they're the problem, they're also the solution. And that's where my coaching comes in.
Yeah. So
And
what are some big problems that you like to solve with your clients?
Oh, they'll come to me and I really more often than not, they'll be like, I used to perform at this level and I'm not here. They're like, I don't know what happened. And the organization is gone. Maybe they had some fails or some challenges that came up for them and that we were able to, again, fix them and move forward. So I used to work for Tony Robbins, very results oriented. We use neuroassociative conditioning and neurolinguistic programming. So these individuals will come and think that their problems are so big, and actually they're really simple. They're simple problems. We provide solutions, and then again, I neuro hack. I change their mind, which allows them to have the belief system and the understanding to move forward.
Cool. So what do you love most about what you do?
Oh, bringing out people's best. Many of my clients I have for years, right? It's so weird to me when I have somebody say, oh, I have a coach and I had him for 3 months. Like that just is beyond me. So most of my clients, we get to grow together. And so I have my clients for years and it's on purpose. We get to grow together. Some of them I will have through selling businesses, getting new businesses, some through changing altogether, which again, I like. Some were a solopreneur and then later having a team and being able to navigate the challenges within that. Really fun. I forgot your question, so I apologize.
Yeah. What do you love
What
most
am I
about what you do?
answering? Bringing out people's best.
Yeah.
Having people with a light bulb moments. I do practical psychology, and there's so many things that if somebody understood that there's nothing wrong with them, that there are there's reasons that we behave the way we do, or our cave woman or caveman, and if we can understand some of those pieces, they're not going to get in our way any longer. Right? It's no longer a hidden hurdle. It's something they can navigate.
I love that. Very cool. Thanks,
You
Aubrey.
too. Thank you.
All right. Danny Z, why don't you go ahead? Why don't you share more about who you are, what you do, and what you're doing to make an impact in this world?
Yeah, I love it. I am Danny Z's. I am an entertainer, a radio host, and a talent agency owner. I try to make an impact by making people laugh and believe in miracles and magic. I'm an escape artist, which is the most ridiculous anybody's ever said to another person. I'm very proud to say I've just finished my 17th Got Talent, performed more than 5,000 shows in 50 countries. And when I get off this call, I'll be leaving for my 18th, which is pretty exciting. But the truth of the matter is, I try to inspire people. I try to take a look at the ridiculousness of my life and how escapology is related to so many other things in the world. I mean, I escape from a box literally, but I think everybody that I try to impact is trying to escape from something, whether it's a bad relationship, financial struggles, perhaps a job they don't like. And I help people find a way to get out of what is confining them to their own box. And the biggest thing that I have to teach anybody is escaping the box is easy. It's having what it takes to step into the next box that's scary. So I have a ridiculous job, and I use my talent agency to help speakers, authors, and entertainers get social proof, get on television and radio, and all of those things that people need in order to find the stages that will take them to the next point in their life.
I love that. And I was going to ask you, and I'll come back to Aubrey because I forgot to ask you this on who you want to connect with, and you just said that. But what do you love most about what you do and how you're helping people?
You know, I've had such a colorful past, as we all have, with both negativity and hardships and victories and some of the fantastic things that happen in life. And I think that teaching people to look at what's fantastic about today and tomorrow is the most important impact that I bring forward. We get so swelled and caught up in our yesterdays that we forget that everything that's happening now is fantastic. So that's kind of my gig.
Cool. I love that. Aubrey, I want to go back to you because I forgot to ask you on who are the type of people that you want to connect with.
Yeah, business owners, people in real estate, which could be realtors or loan officers. I know their world really well since I used to own a real estate office. And a lot of them will go from a W-2 job and then move into a commission role and not know how to navigate their time or their finances. And so they're one of my perfect clients. So if you are know somebody who is stuck in one of those positions, definitely lend them my way.
Cool. Thank you. And Michelle, let's go to you. So tell us more about who you are, what you do, and how you're making an impact.
Sure thing. So Michelle Shank, I'm also known as the Carnivore Yogi. And I help people really rebuild like their foundation of health through diet, movement, stress management, and sleep, right? The 4 pillars of physical and mental health. You could, I guess, call me a holistic performance and nutrition coach, especially for people who are stuck, kind of like Aubrey, right? But maybe stuck in different ways. And really want to take back control of their mind, body, and their environment. I love working with men and women who are just, struggling to lose weight, really struggling with stress management, and just chaos is all around them, and they have no, clear direction on how to move forward in the right direction. So that's what I do.
Very cool. Who are the type of people that you like to connect with?
All right, this will be cliche. Everybody. I feel like every person that I ever come across in the world, I can help them in some way, even if it's just opening the door.
Love that. Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing. All right, Rudy, why don't you share more about what you have going on? I know you got a new mastermind that you're launching, so that's really exciting. So why don't you share more about what you're doing, how you're making an impact in the world, and then we'll kind of dive in with who you want to connect with.
Yeah, so Rudy Perez, do a few different things. I came up, started a janitorial company, started by myself, grew it, got it automated to where it's running itself now. Provides me the freedom to do the things that I want, the things I enjoy, spend time with my family, my wife, my 1-year-old son. I also have a cryotherapy business where we're also in the development of building out our own cryotherapy device, getting that out to distribute. There's a potential deal that we might strike up with Kevin Harrington to help on the distribution process. And then, back to the event. I do coaching, speaking, events. I'm building a mastermind here in Omaha that's going to be one of a kind, elite mastermind group. And the more the point of that is I made a pivot from the event. At first, I was going to target, other entrepreneurs who wanted to take their success up to the next level. But it actually is evolving more into more of the movers and shakers out here who actually have great resources and contacts. So we're going to start doing a lot of community work and bringing a lot more exposure here to Omaha. But just like Aubrey, I was very intrigued by what you were saying. I came up learning from Tony Robbins. I went to one of his seminars back in 2017. Yeah, saved up all my money I had, got myself out to LA, did the Walking on Fire. And then after then, I got certified as a life coach with Tony Robbins and Chloe Madonis's life coaching program. So I went through that in 2017. But I wasn't ready to be a coach at that point. I was just young, out of college. And that's when I decided to start the business. got it to, like I said, automated paying my lifestyle. And that's when I made the pivot into doing a lot of the work with my clients, which ultimately what I do is I help them reach their dreams and desires by helping them understand that they actually have a lot more control over life than they actually realize. Kind of what Aubrey was saying, it has all to do with our internal perspectives of the situation, the experiences that we're facing on a daily. I'm a big believer that every single thing has a plus or a minus, positive or negative. You get to focus on it. Like I spoke at the event, I lost a brother, but I was able to pull out many beautiful things from that, be able to use that to connect with others through that experience, and be able to give back. And so, yeah, right now, ultimately, what I'm doing is just looking to connect the right people to make a lot of moves into helping out communities, starting here in Omaha, but ultimately the goal is to branch out into other cities and create mastermind groups in the big cities where we're doing this kind of work.
Love that. So who are the people that you want to connect with?
So two, people who are looking to make that shift to understand like, hey, my desires are actually attainable and I want to work with someone that can teach me the skill set to get there. And then also the second people I want to work with is other successful coaches and collaborators who also want to provide work to the community and to serve others and collaborate with them on potential projects. I love collaboration. My biggest thing is contribution over consumption, which is big with Tony Robbins. He's all about the two secondary needs is one of them's contribution, and so yeah, I know all the four primary needs, the two other ones, contribution outside yourself. Forget number 6, but
yeah, Aubrey could tell
well,
us
there's growth and contribution. Oh yeah, I know all these.
Growth,
Living and breathing it.
Yep. Yeah, you started talking, I got excited.
Yeah, she's been a coach for him for what, 9 years, and
9 years. Yeah.
So which is really cool.
Yeah, over 16,000 coaching sessions. Just
yeah, that's way past anything I've done, but
yeah,
like I said, I love to learn and
yeah, well,
I love it.
You guys are all doing really cool things, and Rudy, I appreciate you having me come to your event and be able to speak and collaborate with you, and just excited about coming back out there to Omaha sometime soon to be able to speak again and share the stage with you once more. So that's going to be really fun.
It was amazing. You definitely made the event. So
yeah, well, I love doing what I do, and it's a good time. But one thing that I love hearing about all of us on here is the servant leadership in the heart. Our whole mission within Business Leaders Network as a whole is to really build a community of emotionally intelligent servant leaders. And so I love connecting with people that understand the power of collaboration, which is why you guys are here, and serving other people and putting that in the front versus trying to be selfish and trying to gain for yourself. I mean, we all want to grow. We all want to move and become better and grow our businesses. But there's something said about the more that you give back, the more that you're going to gain. And so I believe that all of you guys have exemplified that, which is awesome. Michelle, I wanted to come back to you because I know that you didn't really get a chance to share more about the type of people that you truly want to connect with and who you're looking for. So why don't you share a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, I would say my best connection right now is I'm definitely looking for people in the digital marketing and automation space who are talented in kind of helping others expand their reach and systematize lead flow. It's definitely someone I'm looking for sure to add to my team. And I'm always looking for people to connect and collaborate with. I kind of sent a message to Rudy in the chat there. I run a networking event here in Westminster, specifically for entrepreneurs. We meet once a month. We have a speaker. We do roundtables, really fun stuff. So, yeah.
Great. And Rudy has a really good friend and a business partner. His name's Christian that owns like an ad agency, and he is top notch, like amazing. I got to meet him at his event, and if you're looking for someone that knows what they're doing, he's doing some pretty cool stuff. So I would highly recommend that you connect with him. It should be good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So. Jacob Salem too is another name. He's a mastermind, built very successful online communities. He does work with Billy Cox, Les Brown, Tom Ziegler.
Cool.
Yeah, so
I want that connection. Stop holding back, dude. So cool. Well, I appreciate that. Well, a little bit about me. I'm as I mentioned before, I'm the founder and owner of Business Leaders Network. But one thing that I thrive and love to do is helping small business owners leverage the power of micro one-day events to generate more leads, close more sales, and increase the retention inside of their business. So I come across two people all the time. Like you got the one type of person that's never hosted an event, but because they're terrified. They know that they want to do it, but they're scared because of the logistics nightmare. Are they going to get people in the seats? Are they going to lose money? Where to even start and how to do it? And so I take them from the concept of what's the idea to building out the back end automation and their landing pages and their sales pages and their presentation to creating their offers and how to present it, how to sell it, how to follow up, all the different things. And so those are that's the one type of person. The other type of person is I come across as they're hosting events all the time, or they've done one, but they don't know how to monetize it. And so they're losing money and they don't know how to make money and leveraging it to be able to grow their business. And so that's another person that I love to do and be able to work with. So if you guys know anyone, entrepreneurs, small business owners, I don't care if they're a fitness coach, a business coach, if they're an attorney, if they're a dog walker, if they do masterminds, if they're a realtor. I have a new client right now that is a home inspector and he's crushing it right now out of Arizona. And so it doesn't matter what industry that they're in, because I'm a believer that everyone needs to leverage events to be able to build a business. That's how I built every business I've done. I built 7 businesses since 2007, and I did so through this one-day events process, from a martial arts space, the fitness space. I own an advertising agency, my coaching business, and now with what we're doing right now. And so it works. And I love telling people like this one little fact that, one industry that's been hosting events for more than 2,000 years still gets people to show up every single week and continues to get them to pay money. And that is the church. And the reason why is because they have a shared vision. And so no different than your guys' events is whenever you guys are thinking about hosting an event, you want to make sure you have the right people in that room that are aligned with the vision that you want to accomplish. And when you do that, it makes the conversion way higher. But it does boil down to having a solid offer, the way that you present it, how you follow up with them, and making sure that you have the belief in what you're doing in the first place, because the way that you guys make people feel ultimately is going to move them to be able to move forward and wanting to buy. And so emotion is everything. The way you make them feel is how it's going to work. So the type of people I'm looking for is any small business owner that wants to leverage one-day events to help them generate more leads, close more sales, and increase the retention side of their business. I would love to have that conversation. So send them my way. All right. The next piece that we want to go through is I want you guys to share what is one of your best success stories, because stories tell. We can tell everyone about what we do and how amazing we are and brag on ourselves and on how great our programs, offers, and stuff are. But we got to be able to back that up with who we've been able to help. So I'm going to start with Danny Z. And why don't you share a little bit about one of your success stories about what you've been able to do and kind of walk us through that journey.
It's so interesting listening to all of you talk, because what I do and the way I do it is so much different than the 4 talented people that I see surrounded my screen here. Because I work in the entertainment industry, I deal with people on such a different level. I recognize that the accolades of what I've done in television is because of the social proof and the things that I've created in order to make myself desirable to a television network or a radio network or a game show. And so really, I do social media audits and I help people brand themselves in a fashion. Character development is one of the most important things. And if we take a look at a success story that I have, I had a friend who was in the entertainment industry for years and years and years and was struggling to make a reasonable living as an entertainer. Anybody who's worked as an entertainer will hands down tell you that it's a struggle to find success. It's so difficult to get famous in this world. It's absolutely unbelievable. And it wasn't that he wasn't talented. He was super talented. He was a fantastic entertainer. He just wasn't presenting well. He was so caught up in his craft that he wasn't showcasing his character. And I think that when we take a look at us as salespeople, whether we're coaches, authors, speakers, or entertainers, I think that the perception of how we present as that person or as that character is what makes people buy into the services that we provide. So for him specifically, he went from $300 shows to $3,500 shows in a very, very short time because he was able to showcase the character that he was, not the tricks or the entertainment that he was doing.
That is awesome. I love that. Very cool, and great job, and congratulations on the success. I'm sure you got many, many more. Aubrey, why don't you share more? Tell us one of your best client success stories, because I know you always do so with a smile and lots of energy. So take it away.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard to choose. I've had so many over the years. I'll do one that I had today just because I had him earlier today. Gentleman who came to me with a tax business and has done it so many years. He knows what to do. He knows the drill. He knows how to manage a team. He just wants more out of life, right? So we've been together 3 years. He has now been in the newspaper twice for buying a building block in Chicago. He had to collaborate with others. He had to figure out who are the players in the city, how to figure out getting those type of loans, what are the city ordinances, all kinds of stuff. Now, mind you, he didn't stop there. He decided, he's like, well, I may as well find out. The worst case is I'm out this amount of money, or worst case out, I'm out time. Well, then he also bought a property in Florida that he's closing next week. That's a commercial property. He's also put a bid on an auction that he's going to do into like a co-op. And he's also gone into a peptide business as well, which is really fun. And he just hasn't stopped. And what's beautiful is he has time for his family. He's great to his lover, right? He's taking care of his body. Like he's able to have his whole life met, and have these things. And so he's really one of my fun success stories because he didn't know that he was capable of those things when we met. It was more like, what matters to you? What's life about? Like having him really define things for himself, and that got him moving. So he's one of my fun examples.
I love that. Great story. Rudy.
Thank you.
Yeah, so one of my favorite success stories, and it's hard, because ultimately my favorite answer is just anybody that I get to see that I've unlocked something in their mind. That's how it all happened for me. It's just you hear one thing and something changes to where you just can't perceive the world the same again. And if I can do that for somebody else, that's ultimately the best. But a specific story is working with a client. He worked on oil rigs. He was some type of engineer. And he worked for a company, and he was living in Texas at the time. He moved to out here in Omaha, where I'm at, and his job was okay with him living in Omaha for a while, but they were based out of Texas. It got to a point to where it would work against their company. They couldn't allow him to live outside of Texas anymore. So he lost his job. His company vehicle that he was driving was just freaking out about what was going to happen in life. And, I was able to just sit him down, slow him down and say, well, do you know what you want from life? Like when you're able to focus on what you actually want, you're able to attract better versus just drifting and not knowing in what direction you're traveling. But long story short, we worked with his thinking and kind of got clarity on what he wanted and ended up landing a very similar job with a higher salary, a nicer company vehicle that was provided to him, and a lot more upside as far as he's able to work his way up in this company and even been, at this point, had talks to, one day, move into a CEO type of role. So just the opportunities that came out of him losing a job that, he felt like his life was kind of falling out of his control. Just to see the shift in the quick amount of time too was amazing. So it's one of my favorites.
Cool. That's a beautiful story. I love that. And it just excites me anytime we hear something, just watching people's lives change. I mean, that's what reminds me of like, oh, wait, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So from all of you guys, it's just really cool. Michelle, why don't you share one of your success stories?
All right. It would have to be a 45-year-old woman who is perimenopausal and completely convinced that it was impossible for her to lose weight because that's what society tells her, right? But we put together a very, very simple plan. And I've gone through this myself, and I made it really simple for myself so that I could make it simple for my clients. Very, very basic eating patterns, no crazy workouts. We're not counting calories. There's no macros. There's none of the stuff. All you're going to do is follow this eating plan and walk 2 or 3 miles a day. That's it. That's all you have to do. She thought I was crazy, as many people do. But even within the first week, she had dropped, I think, close to 3 pounds, and that stayed fairly steady. And in 4 weeks, in 28 days, she had dropped 12.6 pounds. She lost 3.4% body fat. I'm trying to remember all her other biomarkers because she has a smart scale. Like smart scale is really important so you can see other biomarkers other than just your weight. But everything moved in the right direction. And it was amazing just to watch that transformation and her to realize like, oh, I can do this, and it doesn't have to be difficult. And I love that. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, and her life has changed forever because of that. That's really cool.
Forever, yes.
So, love that. Well, one of my success stories is several years ago. I was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. I had this client. Her name's Elle, and I love telling the story because she came to me in December timeframe, and she was already getting ready to host one of her events. And I was evaluating it. She just joined my program. I was going through her messaging. I was going through her offers, and I was going through her own belief. And I was like, this is needs a lot of work. Like this is she joined me the first week of December. Her event was at the end of December, like between Christmas and New Year's. And I really had to change her belief. I love it when I'm talking to people, Aubrey. So I love it when I'm talking to people and like, hey, you know what? You could do so much more with this. I mentioned Aubrey because I work with Aubrey on some of her stuff, and we had a really cool story just earlier this year. We were sitting at lunchtime, and she's telling me what her price is. I said, you need to increase this by like $2,500. Her next sales call, and 2 hours later, she ended up doing it and closed it that offer. And it was like, man, and we had an event that same day. We had like 80 people at that event. I'm like screaming from the tower to, from the mountaintops. It was really cool. So anyways,
It was fun.
but it was a similar story. Like I had to take Elle and really shift her belief because, she was like, no one's going to buy this. And the thing was, we had to reposition her belief. And whenever I'm working with people's offers, it always starts with your own belief. Like you got to believe in what you're selling and knowing that you are worth it before you can present it. Because if you don't believe it, then neither will the people that you're trying to sell it to. So I shifted her belief, and I started getting her some stats about what's out there on the market, what other people are selling similar products and services for. And I ended up changing her offer. If she would have done the same exact presentation with the offer that she originally had, she may have closed about $5,000, $10,000 at the most from the event. But I changed her belief. I shifted her message and her whole entire presentation. I changed her offer completely, and she closed $109,000 from that one event in new contract sales. Completely changed her life and what she was doing. She was like, whoa, I didn't even think that was possible. And that set her up for the whole year because moving out of that. And because it was it was the December before COVID hit. And whenever she did that event. So she did that event, and then COVID happened in that March or April, whenever that was. And so imagine all those changes that was taking place. Now she was transitioning from the fitness industry, so she was a personal trainer, to now helping female entrepreneurs with branding, and that's what she still does today. But going into COVID, it was crazy. I mean, there was like no one. I mean, it was hard, especially in the online space, and be able to make more connections and be able to do sales. I mean, only like some of the greats survived. I survived it and thrived actually during COVID. Did extremely well during that time frame. And she was able to go out there and do it, and it helped sustain her for good portion of that year while she started figuring more things out. But that's one of my favorite success stories. Aubrey's another huge success story that I absolutely love because that's recent, and it was just cool to see how that belief. Now I'm trying to get her to do it even more, and
it wasn't even just that one conversation, right?
Yeah.
I came to you saying I'm feeling ready to leave Tony Robbins over a year ago. And you gave me like the plan and the strategy and the pieces, like you made it so simple. I was like, oh, well, I can handle that. And then we plugged and play this year. Right. So I left Tony Robbins last month.
Now she's full time by herself, and she's killing it. And
yeah, it's been a blast. I'm having a great time.
I love it. Well, since you're already talking on the stage, why don't you share like where can people find you? What is the best place that you want people to reach out to you?
They're welcome to reach out to me on my Instagram, right, for Greatness Instigator. Also on Facebook, and then yeah, we'll hold off on the website because you and I are working on that, so we'll get that shortly.
Cool. So Instagram and Facebook, and we'll be tagging everyone on the post too on whenever we share this. So cool. All right, Michelle, where's the best place for people to contact you?
Same. I'm on Instagram as the Carnivore Yogi, and Michelle Shank on Facebook.
Very cool. All right, Rudy, where do you want to send people to?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram as well. It's Rudy Daniel _. Best place to reach me.
And he's probably wearing a red jacket, right?
Probably. I think in that picture I got a black tee. Yeah, but
cool. All right, Rudy Daniel, very cool. And Danny Z, where's the best place?
Yeah, just search for me, Danny Z. You'll find me on all of those things. 4 Z's, like I'm putting you to sleep, and I'll keep you awake, I promise.
Cool. And if you guys are hosting an event, you guys looking for an entertainer, he definitely shows up and with full energy and moves the room. So definitely a guy. You live in Canada, right?
Yeah. Yes. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I've only seen you in the U.S. But
No, I'm just
what-
joking. I'm just joking. I'm very proud to be a Canadian. I live just outside of Niagara Falls, Ontario, and I do a ton of work in the U.S. I'm super proud of all my American friends, and yeah, I have show will travel. Please consider me, as I'll consider all of you. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that. And guys, for anyone that's looking to get connected with me, I like to give you guys a free gift. It's a resource that walks you through my core method, step-by-step process for hosting amazing events. So go grab it at theonedayevent.com. So it's theonedayevent.com. You grab it, you'll get that resource and be plugged in, and then you'll have opportunities to be able to connect and book a call with me if you like. All right, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I really appreciate you sharing more about what you do, and excited about sharing you guys your services with my audience, and look forward to future collaboration. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And what I like to tell everyone is simplify.